I I stumbled across something, and I'm kind of surprised it doesn't seem like anybody else has discovered this yet, or if they have, they haven't done a deep dive focus into it yet. But uh, let me see if I can do something real quick here. All right, so I'm gonna do this first. I'll go. What's going on? You ready? You ready to go on the ride here? We're going to show you guys some Tartaria proof. We did it yesterday, but this will be a little bit more interesting, I think, or just as interesting, I guess. Um, but anybody can follow along, right? So this is one of those weird situations where you guys can do this. You can do this research for yourself a lot easier than you think, and it's so much. It's in your face so much you just don't realize it, right? And I think this narrative is a lot more intense than people realize. And that's it's not even just tobacco cards. So let me look this up real quick. Let me let's see if Liebig has a page. No, no, that's not what I'm looking for. What the fuck was that? Liebig. Extract of Meat Company. That's what it was. All right. Liebig's Extract of Meat Company. Did you hear what I just said? Extract of Meat Company. You look so silly before you put it all together.
This is the primer. It makes the
Right.
eyeshadow stick.
No, I know. It just looks funny now. Um, Established in the UK, was the producer of Lemco brand Liebig's Extract of Meat and the originator of OXO meat extracts and OXO beef stock cubes. It was named after Justus Friar von Liebig, the 19th century German organic chemist who developed and promoted a method for industrial production of beef extract. So here you go. This is a great example of what they did. We're going to learn a little bit more here, though. It's called Liebig, exactly. Liebig. Big lie, but it's one word, so it's Liebig, something like. But it just happens to translate to lie big. What's beef extract? Well, that's what we're gonna figure out here. I mean, we know what the stock cubes are, so maybe it's something that has to do with that. But what they would do is so their product came in these jars like this, right? See those jars at the bottom? And in each jar, there would be these giant. I mean, those cards are like the size of index cards, and these were these incredibly, like, seriously, like, beyond just some dude fucking around. These are artistic renditions to the point where they're like a step away from actual photography, which wasn't as strong at the time. But they, for some weird reason, like, to think about, back in, this is in 1847, so back when these shits were made, red dyes and blue dyes and all that. These were expensive. And to have a giant printing press that is producing thousands of different cards, millions at a time, who knows what they were printed at, but these cards are extremely prominent in a way. But like if you go look on eBay, you'll see an endless supply of cards of different subjects. Just anything you can think of. And to think that just to hire the artists to consistently come up with all of these different renditions, and then to have them printed just so they could be packed free in your meat extract jars, is just strange. But even more so is the imagery, because the imagery consistently shows you a world. A lot of these cards are made 1880s to the early 1900s, consistently show you a world that shouldn't exist. Especially considering, like, the cards are hyper realistic, so they're not all about fantasy. I mean, some of them kind of are, you know, but they're all based in try to look as realistic as possible, and they show you color versions in a way that you can't very well see. There's not a lot of color photography from 1880 that's vibrant colors, but you can see exactly what the world looked like back then. And it just does not make sense. It does not fit the narrative. And I think somehow these Liebig cards escaped the destruction events in one way or another. I'm not really sure. These people had these collections in these photo albums because the cards were the size of photographs anyway. So they had them tucked away in these photo albums that are now being dug out of grandma's houses, and these are little cards that grandma kept and whatnot. But the people that bought the meat extract, right? Just think about what we're talking about. It's such a strange, like, it's such a poor business decision. These are throwaway items that so many people would have just thrown away, or they would have been destroyed. Why would you add these cards to your meat extract product? But somehow, like I say, I think they snuck by, being tucked away in these photo albums and whatnot. And they were just somebody just when they did the cleanup or whatever, they slipped up and let this shit through, because it shows you an incredible world. These are windows into an incredible world, and it's almost like they knew what they were doing, in that they try to sneak or like unnecessary. The scene is going to be beautiful as it is. You don't need to put the small details in the very, very background that show an incredible skyscraper, a huge temple, a huge building. They sneak them into just about all of these pictures, and you have to wonder, like, they were they're either sneaking them in to tell us something, or they were just so prominent that they didn't think about it. They were just everywhere. That's why they're in everything, is because they were everywhere. But here we go. I'm going to go into that now. I'll go. 1847, Justice Freiherr, Freiherr. He's a friar. What are the fucking chances? Get the fuck out of here. Justice Freiherr von Lieberg developed a concentrated beef extract in hopes of providing a cheap and nutritious meat substitute. Extractum carnis Liebig. Carnis, isn't that dog? No, that's Canis. Uh, for those unable to afford the real thing. So this is geoengineering fake meat, The things that you're scared of nowadays, dating back to 1847, where he just developed this. He developed this meat extract. And when you think about like it's not like he had Facebook. It's not like he was like, "Hey, join me on my journey through Facebook when we're gonna like the plastoline guy that's disappeared." Right? Think about how weird this is. My internet kept cutting out. All good now after restarting the box 3 times. Has nothing to do with me. It's just how it is for you every time. Um, His method was to trim the fat from the meat, break the meat into small particles, boil it with water to form a liquid of 6 to 8% solids, and then stir it over low heat until it was reduced to a paste of 80% solids. However, in Europe, meat was too expensive to profitably supply the necessary raw materials to create the extract. You have to love how they always throw in the however. I wasn't even thinking about it, but now that you mention it, where did he get all the scraps to be able to do this? What endless supply of meat did he have? And I think the logistics of how people ate throughout history is completely overlooked. When you see one of my favorite pictures is the old London Bridge engraving from 1621 or whatever it is. And not only does it show you Old London Bridge looking in ways you couldn't even fucking imagine. If I tell you to imagine it, you're not going to imagine it correctly. What the fuck is going on? Okay, well, let's see. Where the fuck, what are we doing here? Wow. Here's a painting from 1677 that shows you something that shouldn't exist, but you can't really see it too well. But that's Old London Bridge. Those are buildings on top of it. And then I don't know what the fuck the people are doing, but that's not. It looks like some sort of ice storm. Here's another example of Old London Bridge. Where the fuck? Oh, here it is. Here's the engraving. This is the engraving that I'm always talking about. But this actually makes it look smaller than it was compared to the paintings. But if you just look deeply at this and you look at how many stories those buildings are, and you can see the heads on top of the archway right there, those are heads on top of those stakes. And you see the big church, and then you see all the spires in the background, and you see, this is a multi-million person city right here. If you don't think that way, I mean, I don't even know what to tell you. Look at the fucking houses that were on the old London Bridge. These are houses. How do you even get to the middle houses? Is there like a big hallway that you walk through? Like, what the fuck? Who built all this? And so you see that, and that's million people. That's a lot of fucking people right there. That's not a people that you can understand live there, right? That's not. Oh, this one is. Let's see. This is a painting from 1632. How many stories is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories. Who built those foundations across the goddamn bridge? And look, they even have a drawbridge in the middle for the biggest boats to go through. Right? This is London Bridge. 1632. Look at this city that's shown in between the things. Somebody took the time to put all that in there to let you know. Does that make sense to you? Does that seem like the 1632 that you thought existed? So, you ever wonder what the... Did you want more? I'm sorry. Did you ever wonder what the London Bridge is falling down? Whatever. Here's a view of London Bridge burning in the fire of the 1633 private collection. London Bridge is burning, and all of those people are out there in boats to watch it. Look at that. And if you look closely, all the other buildings are the same. It's not like it's an exaggeration or artistic license. Every picture that we've seen, the building's makeup is the same. The engraving matches this if you just look. These buildings are the ones seen in the other painting. Right? Are you telling me I'm the only one that thinks this is strange? Oh, here's another one. Drawing of London Bridge from 1682. This is a drawing. Oh, look, you can see the heads on the rooftops. You see that? The heads of the enemies on the rooftops. But hey, you're supposed to look at the heads, right? Look back there. Look at that city of people. What did all those people do back then? Look at that giant fucking palace right there. That's one palace. You're telling me somebody was just like, hey, I know, I'll just draw a bunch of shit that isn't really there, that happens to match the other things. Look at these. Look at this shit. You don't want to live in this time? What the fuck is this? What world is this? I mean, seriously, come on, people who are smarter than me and better than me, all you guys, come on, I'm dumb, right? This is 1757, just before the removal of the houses. So they just decided to remove all of these magnificent houses for reasons. Just before, oh, look at the tower in the background. Yep. 1700s London. Oh, yeah, looks like nothing. Keep all the foundations there because we don't know how to rebuild the foundations of the bridge. Can't fucking do that, so you gotta leave the feet there, but we're gonna rebuild the bridge and make it worse. Every time we rebuild it, we make it worse. Doesn't that sound like a great idea? So this must be after the houses have for some reason been removed. But now you still have all this. No, the horseshit problem was around the turn of the century, the 1800s. The going in from the 1800s into the 1900s is when the horseshit documentaries are taking place. You don't hear anything about a horseshit problem from any other time in history. The 1600s, we're looking at 1600s pictures, right? Look at that shit. Yep, totally makes sense. Who built that shit? Who was out there stacking all that stone and shit? Jesus Christ. Look at this shit. And let me guess, these are all just paintings that people were like, fuck it, I'm fantasizing, so I'm just gonna paint these things for no reason. They're not true. They're not depictions. They're just fuck arounds. All the people not knowing what the fuck they're doing. Look at this shit. This is reset kind of shit. This must be like the... Look at this. This is somehow they're bringing in all these people after the reset. Do you not see that's what's happening here? Look at this. What are all these people being brought in on boats for? Look at that shit. That's repopulating. You're dropping all of these people, these noble people are dropping off all these people who are dressed the exact same way that apparently we dressed. Cuz you know that was just the style of the world back then. This is the 1793 to 1867, the opening of New London Bridge. August 1st, 1831, in the Royal Collection. So, yeah. All these people are just out there for the opening, huh? Because this bridge that used to have all these magnificent houses and structures and shit on it that just blew this boring ass shit away, they're somehow reopening it, and people are like, oh my god, let's all go out and what? Look like we're getting dropped off somewhere. I'm stupid. Remember that. Keep that in mind. I'm stupid. What the fuck is this even supposed to be? Oh, this is New London Bridge under construction. Just in case you were wondering how they did it. Oh, they just sank a bunch of wood pilings into the fucking ground around the footings to keep the water out. Yeah, that's how that works. Isn't it interesting how the one drawing that's about like the construction supposedly looks like absolute shit compared to the other drawings? The background painting's cool, but the foreground shit, that looks like my kid drew it. Even the like the arches and shit, they don't the proportions aren't right. The dimensions aren't right. And this is New London Bridge circa 1870, 1890. This is, I guess, a photograph? Yeah, this is a photograph. Look at that big ass building right fucking there. Look at these people on this bridge. And apparently there's lighting structures, because what lighting structures are those? Those look like bulbs in there. Those don't look like those don't look like fire or like gas widgets or whatever. And look at the background. Look at the shit in the background. Look at all these people on the bridge. 1870, huh? No stoplights or anything. People are able to travel without having to be told when and where to go. Look at that shit. Look at those stoplights. Look at how ornate every little detail is. And yet you're supposed to believe it's just these moron people. Look at the ship in the fucking harbor. And of course, this shit totally makes sense, doesn't it? This totally makes sense for what you think 1870 looked like. What are these lighting fixtures? What is this huge antenna right here? Look at that. That looks like light. That looks like neon lighting. That looks like it says telegraph. Early telegraph. Is that what that says? Wait, what? You can see that, right? You need to put your glasses on. Forget it. You guys see that shit, right? It clearly says here. Let me. What the fuck is that, man? Look at this shit. Whose house is that? What building is that? Look at that antenna. Look at the wires across the sky. What are these wires supposed to be? Oh no, this might be cracks in the phone. My bad. These are cracks, but that thing is an antenna.
I'm all about equality, but we are not the same. Stop forcing women's stuff on me. Force only leads to shame, and it's
Look at the
like
detail here.
and let's look at it as such.
Look at how many people had to live here. The clock,
You've seen him do
the
so
giant clock like that.
he just can't do. You know he doesn't suck.
The harbor. Who's pouring all this concrete and these foundations down by the water like this?
Really helps to have opinions. It doesn't take a genius.
And sure seems like London Bridge got a lot smaller.
Or that the spinning makes you.
You know, in the old paintings.
Women are the best. Women
This
are
is
the
fucking crazy, right?
women should progress
Am I just crazy?
girls. See, women are the pearls in this clammy
Right.
life we lead.
You got a point there.
Men were
You
simply
got a point.
girls chasing nuts to feed the breeze. Feed the breeze. Feed the breeze.
Here it is in 1927.
Nuts to feed the breeze.
I mean, cereal. What the fuck are we looking at, people? People? What did I say? 1927?
Ronda Rousey is lousy. She's always
What's
been a loser.
powering all these vehicles?
Rousey, like I'm on
They
wheels.
just have all this vehicle shit. Where's the gas stations for all these vehicles?
Promo skills are lacking. It's like she's
Why
forced
does
to
everybody always look like it's freezing cold in these pictures?
clearly.
Nobody is dressed like it's 80, 90 degrees outside.
Which is why
And
nobody
look at these
says
buildings. Do these buildings not have windows?
she's like a sailboat to a barge. She may think she's like Brock Lesnar, but she only has her star because
Oh,
Vince
shit.
McMahon lets her. Women are the best.
And this is supposed to be new, right?
Women should progress
News
equally,
World.
not just girls. See, women are the
And look at,
pearls
there's
in this
that building
clammy life
again.
we lead.
But look at it below the ground. Oh, look at the arches caught below the ground. Holy shit.
Feed the breeze. Feed the
Do you
breeze.
guys see this right now?
Feed the breeze. Chasing nuts to feed the breeze. Feed the breeze. Feed the breeze.
Those are archways below the ground level.
Doing manly things doesn't make you more of a woman. And if that knowledge kind of stings,
Understand that I'm looking at fucking.
when a man's not really good and isn't
I'm looking
no one cares who should win. They just talk
at Wikipedia. I'm not doing anything special.
like it is.
Look at this. Look at all of this. This is millions of people that live in this city.
We're faced with makes colored outcomes
Millions and millions of people that live in this city.
dudes kissing women gay.
Who's feeding these people? How are they all eating?
Women are the best. Women rule the world. Women should progress equally, not just girls. See, women are the pearls in this clammy life we lead. Men were simply squirrels chasing nuts to feed the breeze.
New London Bridge rebuilt. Lake Havasu City 2016. What the fuck is this? Looks pretty shit compared to what it used to look like. This is the time the Thames froze in 1677. The Thames froze. And they thought, let's make a painting about this. And look at this shit. Everybody's just out playing, having a good time. Actually dressed like it's warmer out than they normally dress. What is going on here? Normally they would have more layers on and top hats and shit like that. But here they look like they have barely anything on. And they're just having a jolly old time. And of course, look at the buildings in the background. Look how big Old London Bridge used to be. So, what waterway are we talking about here? Look at how many arches there were here and then compare it to now. What are we talking about? Was the Thames bigger back then?
Books brand new beginnings and improving how we help change. Slip their blue and white wrist and inflate when they switch to other platforms. If they charged you a tip, say $1 per month, would you really just
That's pretty fucked up. All right, so back to Liebig. Um, Friar Baron von Liebig made his process public, publishing the details in 1847. Liebig clearly stated of his process that, quote, the benefit of it should be placed at the command of as large a number of persons as possible by the extension of the manufacture and consequently the reduction of cost. So not only did he decide to put these weird little pictures in each one that cost money, he also gave away the secret so that he created his own competition. Seems strange. I mean, that's a very noble thing for him to have done. A variety of companies produce small batches of meat extract based on Liebig's ideas, often using his name on their products. Again, where are they getting the meat from? I love how shit like this will mention that fact, but then will like they'll just move past it. But as long as they mention it, I guess in your head you sort of think, yeah, they dealt with that. Oh yeah, they answered that question. No, they just said it. However, where they got the meat, all the meat product from, so they can create the extract, is unknown. It shouldn't be this way if this is our historical record. Do you not get that? In 1862, George Christian Gilbert, a young German railway engineer visiting Europe, read Liebig's familiar letters on chemistry, because he was also doing chemistry, making meat product, doing chemistry, all that shit. Because, back then, again, think about what did chemistry labs look like in the 1850s? Would they have all the different color liquids? Bloop, 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 all through the fucking things? What are we talking about? It sounds like we're talking about a much more advanced society than we think. That there are chemistry labs. How is he getting different chemicals that only occur in certain places around the world? How is he getting those chemicals shipped to him? In what containers? What's the transport measures like? What's the shipping avenues like? How is that all working out that you could have a chemistry lab in 1862? Please, tell me how stupid I am. That's what I want to hear. I want anybody that can to come through and explain all this in the dumbest way possible because I'm fucking dumb. So make it explainable to me, George. Explain it to me, George. And I'll shut the fuck up. That's all you gotta do. I'll shut up. Just explain it. I think I can explain it. I think by saying obviously something else was happening and then there was this huge reset somewhere much later than people give credit. Somewhere I believe 19 like the 20s, the 30s, like the 30 I don't fucking know. I really just can't tell you. The Pentagon's thrown me way off. If not for the Pentagon, I'd say earlier. But the narrative that the Pentagon was created from September 11th, yes, that's September 11th, the 60th anniversary, September 11th. September 11th, where they had selected the site 9 days earlier, got all the planning and everything, all the permits and all that shit done and pulled in 9 days, signed the final documents and broke ground on the same day, September 11th, and were able to dig two basements worth and 5 floors above the entire Pentagon, built and completed by January of 1943. So roughly 15 months, 16 months, if you include all the planning. It took them 12 months alone just to repair the damage done on 9/11. 16 months to do it all. From 41 to 43. If it weren't for that one piece, I'd be much more like, what the fuck, I mean, my grandmother was born in 29, so it had to happen then. But I don't know. I don't know.
Bitches, deceptive cons are all around.
How did we have the world's fairs, but that got erased? Like what? There's that change right there. That's the part that doesn't make sense. There's clearly something that happens in I don't know, is it the world wars? Did they use the world, or what we think of as world wars actually repops and we just don't realize it? World War II was not just a destruction event, but a repop as well. I don't know. It seems like something else is going on altogether because the historical narrative, the construction, the architecture, the logistical narrative, not, oh, my grandmother this. Understand that if your grandmother grew up in the time where, for all you know, she went through a reset as a little kid, and that shit's terrifying, well beyond what someone like me even thinks about. And she knows that the reset comes when we figure it out. That's what happened last time, and they did the reset. I don't care what kind of great relationship you have with your grandmother, she's not going to tell you the truth. If she knows by telling you the truth that could lead to another reset, she loves you too much to tell you the truth. This is that part of the narrative that we need to really like examine of ourselves, right? What are we what are we willing to say? What are we willing to ask? Are we willing to say that our grandparents are lying to us? I mean, when you realize it's not malicious, it's because they love you. Does that make it easier for you to understand why they would do it? 1860, younger German railway engineer, blah, 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 blah. Convinced that the process could be industrialized, he wrote to Liebig to suggest opening a manufacturing plant in South America using the flesh of cattle that, before the popularity of canning or freezing meat, would have otherwise been killed for their hides alone. How many cattle existed naturally before we decimated them and had to regrow them? He hoped to produce meat extract at 1/3 of European cost. He visited Max Joseph von Penternkoffer's Royal Pharmacy in Munich and Frederick Moore's laboratory, because you know, those laboratories in Koblenz where small amounts of extract were being produced. So this is the guy, a German railway engineer, was all about the cattle manufacturing meat process in South America. So he visited Munich and then Koblenz with these guys. Like, this is 1862, people. What do you think 1862 looked like? Well, now that I showed you what Old London Bridge looked like in 16 fucking 21, seems like by 1862 they would have been the Jetsons, right? Italian advertising for Liebig's extract of meat. This is from 1900. This is just some random thing that was put in the fucking product. Look, we're killing a bull. For who are these white people killing this bull? What is this a bull? What is this? What is that? Is that a bison?
Bison.
That's a bison then. Doesn't it has a weird look to it, but who are the white folk killing the bison dressed like Vikings? Were there Vikings and shit back then killing bison? With Liebig's agreement and the backing of a group of entrepreneurs and ranchers, well, there you go. You don't really need to know like the details. We'll just say with the backing of a group of entrepreneurs and ranchers. I'd love to know who they are. James D, what's going on? Right, they look like Germanic warriors, right? Guibert established the Société des Frères Bentos Guibert and CIE and built a test extraction plant at Villa Independencia, Uruguay, later called Fray Benton's. Yeah? By the end of 1864, he had this factory, this test extraction plant. He built a fucking test extraction plant. We just built that kind of shit back then. By the end of 1864, 50,000 pounds of extract worth 12,000 pounds had been reported or exported and sold. 50 50,000 pounds of extract. 50,000 pounds of. They killed a bunch of fucking cows and, I mean, think about it. It's just crazy. In 1865, Guibert offered Liebig a directorship of the company with an initial cash payment and an annual salary. The Liebig Extract Meat Company was established on December 4th, 1865 in London with a capital of 150,000 pounds. What do you think that is in today's money? It's got to be like $10 million today, right? Maybe more. Liebig performed and supervised quality control testing on the product arriving to Europe in Antwerp and promoted it as, quote, the real Liebig extract of meat. By partnering with Liebig, Guibert was able to claim that he was the official sanctioned producer of Liebig's meat extract. This was such a big product back then. Meat extract was everywhere, I guess. And that's why these cards still exist. So that's the jar it came in, the meat extract. It looks like lard to me. Look like lard to you?
Yes. Gross.
And then look at they just this is another one of these things that apparently the cows were pulling the sleigh. The craziest one from yesterday was the train that was on the monorail. What the fuck was I just looking? What was that? Other companies also, blah blah, Germanic term, the kind of products, okay, Korean history, cookbooks, trading card sets. Colorful calendars and trading cards were also marketed to popularize the product. Liebig produced many illustrated advertising products, table cards, menu cards, children's games, free trading card sets, calendars, posters, poster stamps, paper, and other toys. Again, that stuff costs money. Like you can say that they did these things back then, and you can be like, "Oh well, things didn't cost as much money back then." That doesn't explain it. You still had to pay the artists. You still had to get all the paper product, the mass produced cards that were everywhere. Like, what are we talking about? People's In 1872, they began to include sets of trading cards featuring stories, historical tidbits, geographic tidbits, and so on. Many famous artists were contacted to design those series of cards, which were first produced using true lithography, then chromolithography, lithography, and finally, offset printing. The cards remain popular with collectors and are often collected in albums. A set usually consisted of 6 cards grouped around a particular theme. This example set includes chemists, both ancient and modern. One card features Liebig in his laboratory of students. Oh, shit.
That's evil incarnate. You bait harmless people into talking to you and bully them to do
Again, okay, think about this. Look at the background of the card.
you apparently
I
didn't
don't
learn
care
from
what
your
time you say it is, who was building those kinds of buildings. That's card one.
says they're cases for touching kids. There are
Oh, I
children
guess this is Liebig right here.
sickest of
I think.
smokers smoking
No.
manure, but their
It's
biggest
hard to know
nightmare
because they're in German.
is
Which one is which? So
wasn't it cool
this is
when you were
Gerber.
up in real Pizzagate
This is
days?
Albert Magnus working in his
We grow up
laboratory
pretending
full of Masonic
we'd
shit.
throw you in jail for it, but then
The little
when
boy
they
in the
find
background.
you were
I
fake
don't know who
news,
Albert Magnus is.
you're done with your government. Until next time, when you
This
see a
is
spy
this
coming
is
to me, simply
Berthollet.
bow
Berthollet in
to
his Shakespearean costumes with his buddy hanging out in a building that shouldn't exist. Think about what it would take to light that place, to heat that place. This is F.K. Archard, who is making missiles? Is he making munitions and cutting potatoes or some shit? What the fuck is he doing? Those look like missiles to me.
Would you do that? Average Joe Sixpack. Would you set a trap that attacked without warning?
This is Liebig.
They curse me,
Liebig
silently smirking while you
in
sit
his
around in my
fucking
sleep.
palace
Would you
where
probably
they're
consider
boiling meat
leaving
extracts and shit? Or is this
or
just the
switching
laboratory? This is his
your
special
dreams?
1800s laboratory.
You
He commissioned
desperate
this
megasexual
card to
friend
depict what
says
his
I'm
laboratory looked like. So
crazy.
you would imagine this is as
But
accurate as it
now
gets, right?
shoot my two boys for me choosing a choice you blindly voice
And
against.
this is
Pinched
A.W. Hoffman,
think something's dumb or
who is
twisted in
talking to
his
a bunch of
brain.
white guys
He
about stuff.
insists on getting all pissed.
They're all hanging out in their clothes
Says
in their
I'm
building.
so
Like, when you look
dangerous.
at the people wearing the clothes, like, how did they press all those clothes? How did they have that all at the waiting?
Better or slightly less clever is making a fake
So now
page
you know what
with
Liebig's meat
two
extract is.
images
Even though we should
blinking.
probably look up Julius
That's
Liebig.
more
We're not
than
going to.
a mistake.
So if you go to eBay
First,
and you type in Liebig 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 cards. Well, I typed in Liebig resorts yesterday because I think the resorts cards are the most fucking spectacular cards. Considering that this is a set that is supposedly from. Well, it doesn't say. Damn it.
chemtrails are killing
But
us.
it's probably the 1800s.
Those mice
And the shit that they're showing. Oh, wait, the other one has them in individuals, doesn't it? Yeah, I believe so.
chemtrails are killing us.
So you look at what they're depicting, and in all of these, the lady in the red dress is there. In this one, she has the kid on a donkey. If you know about this, and you know about like the polka, what the fuck is his name with the nose? Pinocchio. The Pinocchio story, turning the kids into jackasses and taking them to the islands and shit like that. You got the kids all in the boats and shit. There's something else going on in all of these pictures, but this is a resort town. This is, what is this one? This one is Laguno Suris. I don't know. I mean, if you just look, it's so much more incredible than you think. Look at the top of that mountain. Somebody took the time to draw that in there. They didn't need to, but they did. They took the time to put the silhouettes of those monstrosities far off in the background as well. Why would they do that?
Brought to you by your friends at the Bilderberg Group.
What are those little things at the top of that mountain
What's
all across
next?
like that? What is that? Those look like
You
telephone wires, don't
going
they?
next?
Doesn't that look like telephone wires?
My wife made me watch that crappy, silly show, The Doctors. Needless to say, I wasn't happy and found it quite obnoxious. But
You
irregardless,
have
which isn't a word, but
this one on this island that is
racist.
like a military facility now, and it's got like extra island added to it somehow. If you look up this island, which is the Heligoland Island, it's crazy. And now, of course, you have the woman with the red umbrella this time. But why is she in a boat with some people fishing? What is the purpose of a woman all dressed up with an umbrella in a fishing boat? What are you talking about? And then those ramps that go up like that, that's like famous. You can see it depicted in lots of other things, but this island doesn't make sense. You see this one, this is Brighton, Anglerette. Look at the pier. Look at what they have as a pier all the way back then. And there's your woman in the red dress. The card is just faded. She's being led out of the boat with a couple of captives. You also have the little girl in the red dress. Look at the building in the background. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7 stories plus those penthouses, and that's just what we can see. Okay, gets better, it gets better. This one's my absolute favorite, though. This is Shivig SCH Shivengnu. SHEVENINGUE. SCHEVEN. What did I say? Shivingu. EVENININGUE. It doesn't even have a thing. So whatever this picture is, if I look it up on Wiki, it's not even listed as something. What the fuck is this? You're telling me you think we built that? You think those people built that? Lady in the red dress, working out deals. What you see in all these pictures is the fact that nobody was working. People lived a really amazing life. It was a leisurely life. They hung out. Apparently, it was even cold down by the beach because you dressed like it was fucking cold. And you can't say it's modesty because modesty doesn't override heat stroke. And if it's 90 fucking degrees out and you have these kind of outfits on, you're going to die of heat stroke. But look at this shit. Who do you think built that? This is Ostende, Bil, Bil, Belgreek, Belik, Belgique, Belik. Look at that shit. Look at those buildings. Look at the woman in the red dress being wheeled around by clearly a kid while looks like she's making deals. Do you guys see it yet? You think it's just my luck that it happens to be this way? That I'm just picky and I've just noticed this thing and it's not real. Look at that. Look what's depicted there. Here you go again. This is Nice. And what do you see right away? The woman in the red dress walking prominently with a bunch of younger people around her. Like she is off to sell. Do you guys see this? Look at that building in the background there. Look at that. What is that? A house? What? Who lives there? You also have the little girl in the red dress, like keeping them in check. Like she's herding the children around. You see this? The man in black. Go ahead, tell me how I'm wrong. By all means, I'd love to hear it because it's freaky as shit. It's freaky. But okay, so there's that. But then there's the 1909. Um, I guess I'll just look up 1909 playing cards. I don't know the name of the thing. I'm sure it'll pop up and then I'll be able to refine my search. 1909 playing cards. So there's just tons of them. So one of the famous sets is the boxing cards, but people don't talk about. So this is the 1909 U.S. playing cards, the Capital Souvenir. So this is the national capitals of the world. Here's the Denison office. This is 1909. This is, I don't know, some building somewhere. These are actual photographs, too. That's what I love about these sets. It's photographs. There's nobody ever in the photographs. This guy can't take shit. So, the boxing cards, like I say, are the most famous. But there are tons of different. So, here's the Antique California Souvenir Deck, 1905. So, let's see if they have some actual pictures that we can look at. Well, I mean, you can't. You can kind of see them. Like if you look, you can see the shit being depicted. It's 1909 California, right? Long before Hollywood had come to town and made everything big and beautiful. I want to start buying these sets up and then presenting them to you guys, but they're not cheap, $50, $60 sometimes. Like look here. Look at whatever building is being depicted on this 10 of clubs. And look at the jack down below it. What are these buildings? 1909 California? What are we talking about here? And I just don't understand why, nobody else has discovered this yet. Look at that. What buildings are we seeing here? What's powering those trolleys? Look at that giant archway. What's going on there? Like these I actually have a couple of these sets. Oh look, they decided to give us better looks at these two cards because how could you not? What the fuck are these buildings? This one is the Fairmont Hotel, San Francisco. Let's see. Fairmont Hotel, San Francisco. So this is what's presented now as the same building. You tell me what it looks like, all right? So this is the building today. And that's the building back then. Do you guys see anything different? No, I know. I guess this is the back view of it. So let's see if we can get the back view of it. Whoa, wait, what the fuck? The fifth story looking down the corridor, the view. What was this? Oh, this is just nothing. Okay. Yeah, this. Because we could do that back then. Those vaulted ceilings like that, the fucking big columns and shit. Come on, show. Okay, so there's nothing showing me the back. So that's still clearly a completely like. What are we looking at here? There's that, And then there's that. What the hell? Okay, so what's this building? This building is the. Oh, you son of a bitch. Could have been a contender. The St. Francis Hotel in San Francisco. Let's see if we can find that one. You know what? Wait. The luxury hotel, the Vanderbilt, named after the mining magnate and U.S. Senator James Graham Fair by his okay. The hotel was named after by his daughters Teresa Fair Oliarchs and Virginia Fair Vanderbilt. They had the Vanderbilts who built the hotel in his honor. She built the hotel in his honor. The hotel was the vanguard of the Fairmont Hotels and Resorts chains. The group is now owned by the Fairmont. Blah 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 blah. Let's go. Um, Opening shows you the opening. Doesn't say when it was built. Opening April 18th, 1907. Doesn't tell me when it was built. Let's see. Let's see. It's got to tell me when it was built. It has been featured in many films, notable for its $21,000 per night, 6,000 square foot, 1927 entire eighth floor penthouse presidential suite used by U.S. presidents. The idea that Truman, Kennedy, Obama, and Biden stayed in a fucking room that cost $21,000 a night is disgusting. So, when I look it up, it says 1906 earthquake. The hotel was nearly completed before the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. Although the structure survived, the interior was heavily damaged by fires. Because earthquakes cause fires. And opening was delayed until 1907. Architect and engineer Julia Morgan was hired to repair the building because of her then innovative use of reinforced concrete, which could produce buildings capable of withstanding earthquakes and other disasters. She just did that, huh? Seriously, there's nothing about when this building was. The first thing is the earthquake. There's literally no information on when this was built. Isn't that creepy as shit? First concierge in the U.S. Okay, gives a fuck. Ownership change. Don't. That's 2012. Don't care. Like, this is the craziest shit. Where is the history of this motherfucker? Literally nothing. No reference. Who? No. Nobody knows. No. Who built it? When it was built? Who the architect? Nothing. It doesn't even have the typical nothing story that they give. This is just literally nothing. It was named after the magnate who lived from 1831 to 1894 by his daughters and Virginia Vanderbilt, who built the hotel in his honor. Like, and this is in California. Normally, the Vanderbilts are building their 1883. Vanderbilt opened up her main house in New York by having a $3 million party in that time money. The Vanderbilts were just Vanderbilt and everything they could, man. Good thing their name fits, huh? Okay, so what did I say? The St. Francis Hotel. Let's see. St. Francis. St. Francis Hotel. I guess it's the Westin St. Francis. Formerly known as the St. Francis. Oh. So this is it today. Kind of looks like the other the picture, right? It's close, except I guess they added a whole other building to it because this one only has the three buildings. When did they put the extra slab on there? When did they copy the copy? That's so weird that they added that extra. When did that happen? Now we have lots of information on this. Located probably the two 12-story wings of the hotel were built in 1904, and the double width north wing was completed in 1913. Well, in 1909, that picture was taken and it looked pretty complete to me, didn't it? Look complete to you?
Yeah.
Initially as apartments for permanent guests. This section is referred to as the landmark building on the hotel's website, the 32-story, 120-meter, 390-foot tower, and to the rear referred to the tower building, which was completed in 72. Yeah, it's nothing. Let's see. Opening 1904, landmark building. Okay, so are we not going to find out actually when anything was done? Let's see. History. What the fuck are they showing us? So I found something, you guys. So here's the St. Francis Hotel soon after its opening in 1904. Okay, you see it, right? This is 1909. Oh, God damn. That's 1909. What are we seeing here? What's the mistake? I mean, the third wing is easily part of it, and they're saying that they built the third wing was a double wing, and is to this day. So when is this picture from? Where does that third building even go in this picture? Okay, so if you look, you can actually see the tower right there in the front. You can see that thing, that spire that's in the middle. So we can see that that's okay. So essentially, we're basically looking at from the same angle in that picture. So the third building would have to go right behind where that tower is. But when did they build that? That is crazy. St. Francis was begun by trustees of the estate of Charles Cooker, one of the big four railroad magnates who had built the western portfolio of the Transcontinental Railway. It was built as an investment for Coker's two young grandchildren, of course, Templeton Crocker and Jenny Crocker. Jenny Crocker. It was originally meant to be called the Crocker Hotel, but instead it took the name of the earliest California gold rush hotels, the St. Francis. What do you mean? How does it have a name that you don't want it to have? It was designed by Bliss and Faville. Those people aren't blue. You don't get to know anything about those. In the style of Chicago architect Louis Sullivan, with a relatively bare facade for San Francisco. The hotel was opened March 21st, 1904, and along with the older Palace Hotel on Market Street, immediately became one of the city's most prestigious addresses. So, no idea then. No idea when it started. It was designed by Bliss. It was opened in 1904. And then the San Francisco earthquake. Oh no. All right, so here's Willard Warden photo, admission day 1910. This is what San Francisco looked like in 1910.
FBI chief Ted Gunderson. Look up the Franklin cover up, the 80s version of Pizzagate. Because with everything that's happening all over this
What the
planet,
fuck is in the sky?
chemtrails, GMOs, all that stuff,
I know you'll say that's the towers on the top of the building, but look at the other two dots. What are those? It actually forms a triangle if you look at it. But
hold at a higher standard than any
1910 San Francisco, right? That's what you thought at nighttime?
believing what you believe and giving your
And of
10%.
course,
Maybe you're the
it's
person.
all lit up for who? Do you see anyone in that picture?
No.
I don't see a single fucking person.
Ever watch TV, ever
Oh,
close your
guys.
eyes? Well, I don't even sleep
I'm
much, but
exhausted. I can't do it
somehow
anymore.
it's kind of
I'm,
hard to count this as part of my routine. First, I double my amounts when I use gravy on
Here's the
pancakes. Then
Greek
I'm stuck doing
Theater,
domino
University
about
of California.
average magazine. Not bad as what used to be the cover. For your mental
Oh,
doubt, I think impossibility. You just sit pout, I take lots of selfies. Me and all my favorite fellas
look
see
at that
the view
archway,
like
whatever
the
the fuck
sun.
that thing is.
Places in the world, passing out pearls, leaving people jealous. Me, more than overzealous. We
I'm
are
gonna
the
have to do this tomorrow where we really do start with this instead of going in a direction. Like look at here's Souvenir Nation souvenir playing card. This is just a different a different state's cards. Look at what they accidentally showed us. These things are this is there's a secret here. This is the Capitol West Front. This is 1909, and of course there's no one in the picture. And it looks cold. Must have been taken in the winter or the fall. But look at it. Who built that? This is Capitol West Front. I don't know the capital of what. Oh, okay, so whatever. This doesn't say National Capital Souvenir Playing Cards Golden. This doesn't say what capitals these are supposed to be, what states these are supposed to be. So kind of sucks. But they have them for like Oregon and just all these places you wouldn't expect. Well, here's the one for Oregon. Oregon playing cards, souvenir pack. They all come in these amazing leather bound packages. They have the gold on the ends like that. Here's the a mountain, I guess. Yeah, they didn't show any of the good photos. Let's see. This is a California souvenirs set again. Here's just something. I should break out mine. I have, like I said, I have like two of these. They're not expensive or anything. Here's the state capital of Sacramento in 1909.
Just living good's not good enough for me. Saying that you should selling wood to a tree, but your wood never could. That's why it's called
1909.
silly.
That's the state capital of Sacramento. Who built that? Does that even look real? Does that look like a model? Look at the trees in the front. Doesn't that kind of look like a fake model?
Anyone's hands who grab at my door. I am the man. I read past
This is Bush Park in Pasadena.
that don't plan to allow others.
What the hell is this?
A lot of bushes there.
Is for sure.
Oh man, that was such a setup, and I'm not gonna say it. Cause come on, that's not even fair. You did it. You did it.
Shush.
But you did it.
Shush.
But you did it.
Shush.
Here's one for Alaska, Yukon, Pacific. God, I really want these because obviously this guy's not going to show you enough. But here's the McManity's laundry. Here's some kid, I guess, doing laundry. I mean, what the fuck are we looking at here? Some kid doing laundry? And it's cold? Come on, butt face. Okay, remember, this is Alaska, Yukon territory. I don't know if you can see the pictures of what's being shown, but these are castles. Do you see what's being shown in these pictures? Look at that building right there. What part of the Alaska Yukon territory were these buildings in 1909, yo? Look, we'll throw some Indian faces in there just to throw people off. Do 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 do. Oh, here's another thing. Look at the seven of diamonds. What the fuck in the Yukon Peninsula is going on with the seven of diamonds? And then look at the Indian
Yeah.
character right next to him. What are we looking at here, guys? Look at how insane this is. And what do I got? Like 100 people that have seen this video? This is the best evidence you're going to see anywhere, and nobody's talking about it. These are actual photographs, unlike drawings or anything else. Look at this. This is the Alaska Yukon in 1909. What part of this did you hear about growing up? The Alaska Yukon territory was built like this shit. Did you ever see anything like it? No. So, I'm done. But we'll come back. We'll do it tomorrow straight from the beginning. I appreciate you guys being here. Don't take any wooden nickels. Pedophiles, fucking kill yourself. Everybody else, go get your links in the description. And again, pedophiles, kill yourself.
Sweetheart.
What?